Ba-da-da-dum, bum bum.
Well, improv is a really interesting thing because improv is deals in ideas and it has a wonderful approach to ideas. It's the yes and notion about ideas. And in creative circles, businesses are famous for saying no. That's what businesses do. No, no, that costs too much money. No, we tried that and it doesn't work. No, you'll never get that approved through headquarters. And so just the, the basic notion that it's about saying yes to see where it can go to some creative place is very valuable in business because no is how you control costs in a known environment. Innovation is not a known environment, and controlling costs for innovation doesn't make any sense at all, and it certainly doesn't make any money. So what you have to do to innovate is you have to do things that are silly and ridiculous and goofy, because all good ideas start out as dumb ideas. This is one of the essential notions that Matthew Loon was talking about at Pixar. If you read Ed Catmull's book, Creativity Inc., he says, we've come to realize that all of our ideas for all of our Academy Award-winning hit films all look really stupid in the beginning. So we've just said, okay, we're not going to criticize it. We're just going to assume it's stupid in the beginning. And what we're going to do is massage it and rethink it and rework it until it becomes something fantastic. And that's how innovation works in industry, is you have to be willing to say yes and see where it goes. One of the reasons why you're taught in improv never to say no is because improv is sustained on the actor's enthusiasm. And when you say no, the actor's enthusiasm just pops like a balloon. And so in an innovative world, in a world of innovative technology, you have teams of people who have ideas and they're working on them. They're trying to see, is there something valuable here? Let's work on it and see what we can find out. And if somebody comes in and says, I know for a fact that this is a dead end, it's a failure, it's not going to work, that person may be right. But the cost of being right, the advantage of being right is they save some money because the team doesn't go down a dead end, okay? But the cost of doing that is it destroys the morale of the team. And the morale of a creative team is priceless. It's like the morale of an improvisational team. And you never say no because you do improv for comedy, to get laughs. And if the guys on the stage are going, I'm unhappy now, nobody's laughing, nobody's liking it, the performance. And so what I'm saying is that the cost to the organization in hurt feelings and destroyed morale is much higher than the savings that they make by not going down a dead end. Let the teams find the dead ends themselves. It's more educational. It's actually what fail fast really means, although it's rarely interpreted that way. And so these are lessons that come straight out of improv. Now, there's a lot of other reasons why improv is important. Improv is about storytelling. And storytelling is an essential skill for any interaction designer, because what interaction design is finding a user, learning who they are and what their desired end state is, and understanding what motivates them to get there. And that's a story. That's a protagonist, and the protagonist has a goal, and he has obstacles to overcome, and that's the story arc, the narrative story arc, and that's what improv teaches you. So to understand, I mean, if you don't have a story, then you're designing artifacts, which is art. And I love art. I'm a big fan of art, okay? But design and art are two different things. Art is something that you do for your soul, and design is something you do for an end user. And that's where that narrative comes from. Okay, so that is straight out of this notion of improv is as a narrative. Now, narrative has even more implications because once you have created a product, or let's say you just have an idea for a product, what you have to do is you have to sell that idea within your organization. How do you sell that within the organization? You don't go to the boss and say, here's an artifact that I want to build because I like this. Because then the boss he just looks at it and says, that's going to cost me a lot of money. I'm not interested in that. But you go to the boss and you say, here is a user. And here's their goal. And here's their obstacle. The narrative becomes the tool by which you make creativity happen within the organization. So again, it's an integral part of it. And of course, once it's built, then you have to advertise it and sell it in the marketplace. How do you do it? You tell the story.
Ba-da-da-dum, bum, bum.
We've been having an improv consultant come in one day a week and run the teams through an improv exercise, just a lunchtime exercise. And it's a lot of fun. People learn how to do it. I'll tell you, there's all sorts of value in it. Another way is, now, this is less important if you're a staff designer at a company, but if you're a consulting designer at a consulting company, you regularly have to perform in front of clients. And so it's just really good training to stand and deliver and to think on your feet, to extemporize. You're standing there and you're saying, and here's the product we're going to design, and here's the user, and here's their goal, and then some engineer in the background says, well, why are we doing it like that? The improv training is going to help you answer those questions.